Hey guys, White Fox 1225 here, and today we have another episode of the story of ESO. This time around, we'll be talking about the story and lore from the Dark Brotherhood questline. This story is set in the Gold Coast, part of Cyrodiil that isn't involved in the Three Banner War. We start our quest by arriving in the Gold Coast, where you hear rumors of the Dark Brotherhood recruiting out of Anvil. But there's also a darker part to this rumor. It's said that to get the attention of the guild, one must take an innocent life. So knowing what's on the line, the player does just that. Not too long after, the player receives the mysterious and infamous "We Know" letter and is told to travel to the local Anvil lighthouse. It's there that you meet with the speaker of the Dark Brotherhood, who offers you a chance to join the guild. But before you join the family, you have to prove yourself worthy by completing a contract. An imperial noble, Lord Quintos Jarl, has been marked for death by the Black Sacrament. The player heads off to see the job done, and you sneak into the estate through the smuggler tunnels underneath. It's there that you discover the Lord is hiding in a secret room in his wine cellar. You sneak your way in and send Lord Jarl's soul to Sithis. From there, you're told to make your way to the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary, tucked away in the rocks of the Gold Coast.
What is the flavor of fear? Welcome.
Once inside, you meet Astara, the matron of the sanctuary. She's very stern, but tells the player to meet with the other assassins to get familiar with your new family. Your assassin meets with Tannic the Red Guard first. He was an apprentice to a smith that abused him and worked him to the bone. One day, Tannic had had enough and killed the smith. Being wanted by the law, he went on the run and became a hired killer, eventually joining the Dark Brotherhood. Next, you meet Mirabelle, a girl from a noble family who is rather forward with the player, but married to another assassin named Simbar. Moving on, you meet Green Venom Tongue, an Argonian who keeps records for the Brotherhood, and also is a Shadow Scale, meaning he's an Argonian born under the sign of the Shadow. You also meet Kor, an enthusiastic Nord, and Hildegard, a little girl who's also a werewolf that he took in from Skyrim. But while you introduce yourself, you learn something a bit troubling. Someone is hunting down Dark Brotherhood assassins, and many of the new recruits have been dying off rather quickly. With that concerning news in the back of your head, you get settled into the sanctuary and take your place in the guild. While there, you learn some more about the political tensions in the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is very much a land divided by three powers. First is the Church of Akatosh, who rule over Kavach, and the Order of the Hour. The Order of the Hour is a group of militant priests devoted to Akatosh and led by Primate Artorius. The second power is the Pirate Queen Governor Fortunata, who rules Anvil with her army of thugs. And last but not least is the Dark Brotherhood, working for the other two parties on occasion, but ultimately serving themselves and Sithis in the shadows. Sometime later, the matron calls upon you. She's visibly angry, explaining that the Grand Sermonizer is speaking lies about the Dark Brotherhood during her sermons and making them seem weak. The Grand Sermonizer is protected by the Order of the Hour, as she is Primate Artorius' second in command. Following the matron's instructions, the player heads to Kavach to meet with Tannic, and Tannic instructs you to murder the Sermonizer's priest while he finds out where she's hiding. After slaying the priest, Tannic locates the Grand Sermonizer inside her estate. You head there and spy on her as you enter the basement. To your shock, she and a warrior donning black armor, who goes by the name of the Black Dragon, had just tortured and killed Simbar, a fellow Brotherhood assassin. They tried and failed to get him to tell them where the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary is, which he refused. But he paid the price with his life. He's just the latest of many Dark Brotherhood assassins to be hunted down by an unknown party. Once the Sermonizer and warrior leave, you and Tannic head to inspect the body. Indeed, Simbar is dead, and seeking revenge, you follow the Grand Sermonizer through an escape tunnel and track her down. In an epic fight with the Sermonizer and her guards, the player slays all of them. Later, the player returns to the sanctuary and tells Astara, the matron, what happened on the job. Astara is concerned about this warrior known as the Black Dragon, as she's heard many rumors about this great knight, but they were all unconfirmed until now. But happy with the Sermonizer killed, you lick your wounds and prepare for your next contract. However, the next time you leave the sanctuary isn't on a contract. Kor frantically requests your help as his adopted werewolf daughter Hildegard never came back after she left for Anvil. The two of you investigate, and it turns out she's gone into the Geralt Mountains in Skyrim, fearing that her werewolf form is a liability to the Brotherhood. You and Kor find her though and convince her she belongs with the Dark Brotherhood, and she comes back to the sanctuary happy to be reunited with her family. After a bit of time passes, the guild gets a strange request. Astara tells you the client wants to meet with you before the assassination is performed. That customer is no other than the pirate queen of Anvil, Governor Fortunata. She worked for the Gold Coast Trading Company before using her connections to become a pirate warlord, and then claim the city of Anvil for herself. Conveniently, Mirabelle works there as a maid and secretly spies on the pirate queen. Anyway, you go to the castle and meet with the governor. It turns out she's feuding with the Order of the Hour. Anvil is controlled by her, and Kvatch is controlled by the primate of Akatosh, Artorius, and his Order of the Hour. The Order recently expanded their power and control in the region, and she thinks the Count of Kvatch is behind it. She wants you to kill the Order of the Hour commander, Marcus Scipio, to teach them a lesson. And then she wants you to tell the Count what you did to strike fear into his heart. After explaining what she wants done, you sneak into the Kvatch castle and assassinate the Order of the Hour commander, and then head off to tell the Count. But shockingly, when you arrive, he's performing the Black Sacrament himself.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
The Count wants you to kill Governor Fortunata, the very person who just hired you. He says he can offer you gold for the kill, but also says he has information. He knows who's been killing the Dark Brotherhood assassins. You tell him you're not here to take his contract, instead, you're there to tell him you killed his commander. The Count is mildly upset, but he still wants you to take his job. Suddenly, Speaker Tenorus appears and asks to speak with you. He arrived because of the Black Sacrament and found you talking to his client. He says you're the perfect person to sort this mess out. In his wisdom, he decides that they must assassinate the Pirate Queen because the Black Sacrament was performed and her soul is now promised to Sithis. You agree and head off to kill her. Once back at the Anvil Castle, you find Mirabelle disguised as a maid. The player tells her what happened, and to your benefit, she knows a lot about the castle and the governor because she's been spying on her for some time. Mirabelle recommends poisoning her favorite wine supply in the upstairs pantry. Your assassin heads there and poisons her wine. Then you speak with Governor Fortunata in her suite. You inform her that you killed the Order of the Hour commander. She is grateful and invites you on the balcony to enjoy a drink. Mirabelle brings her the wine and the governor takes a sip. Just as Mirabelle planned, the governor chokes and falls to her death.
Then, a toast to taking what you can and fighting to keep what's yours. The wine? What did you do?
We'll drink to your memory, Governor, and to the glory of the Night Mother.
Mirabelle? She's one of you!
Life is fleeting, Fortunata, an illusion. And in the end, everything belongs to Sithis. Tell him I said hello.
Once you're back at the sanctuary, Mirabelle is arguing with Astara, saying she wants to go on the mission to kill the Black Dragon, the warrior who killed her beloved Simbar. However, Astara thinks the contract is too personal for Mirabelle and sends you instead. The player starts by heading to see the Count, who still owes them information for carrying out the governor's assassination. He promised to tell you who's been killing the Brotherhood assassins, and more specifically, who the Black Dragon is. It's time for him to make good on that promise. But surprisingly, when you arrive, the Count says he already told Mirabelle everything he knows, so it would seem that Mirabelle did not heed the matron's warnings of staying out of this contract. But he tells you the same thing he told her: the Black Dragon is the one hunting down your assassins, and she is the first sword of the Order of the Hour, the warrior priests of Akatosh. With this new information in hand, you travel to the Order of the Hour's enclave to find and kill the Black Dragon. As you go to enter, Mirabelle appears and speaks with you. At first she says Astara sent her, but then admits that that's a lie. Coming clean, she admits that she has to do this for Simbar, and must kill the Black Dragon herself to get revenge. Mirabelle is stubborn and doesn't want your help, so you both go on your way into the compound. Eventually, while exploring the headquarters, you run into a woman named Lyra, who says that she'll help you find the Black Dragon, but warns that the Black Dragon is the mightiest warrior in the land, and was a lot like you before she saw redemption. Lyra explains that the Black Dragon was a member of the Dark Brotherhood before they pushed her too far. Something seems off with the conversation, but she's the only lead you have, so you follow her into the Black Dragon's chambers. But once inside, you find empty chambers with Mirabelle hiding inside for the Black Dragon. Suddenly, you realize that Lyra the maid is the Black Dragon. But before you can do anything, she reveals herself by thrusting a sword through Mirabelle's chest and fleeing the room.
I am death, you silly fool! We'll meet again, assassin, and next time I'll be ready to deal with you.
Don't mourn for me, assassin. I've always dreamed of the void. I'll see Simbar and the Dreadfather soon. But you need to warn Astara. The Black Dragon is...
After witnessing the death of your friend, you flee back to the sanctuary and explain what happened. Venom Tongue, the record keeper, says he'll look into who Lyra is in his journal, and you'll track her down from there. A bit later, Green Venom Tongue asks to speak with you. He wants your help finding the truth about Lyra and how a Dark Brotherhood assassin came to work for the Order of the Hour and serve Akatosh. Green Venom Tongue used to know Lyra, but assumed she died when his old sanctuary was destroyed. He wants you to come with him back to Black Marsh to visit his old sanctuary and dig up the past. The sanctuary was destroyed by a purification put on by the Black Hand. Their sanctuary was filled with corruption and betrayal, and so the Black Hand purified the sanctuary by killing all the remaining members. Green Venom Tongue only survived because he was away on a contract when the purification occurred. Luckily, Green Venom Tongue brought Hiss resin on this trip that allows you to see echoes of the past when it's burned. Through these visions, you see Lyra killing Sanctuary members, as she was the one tasked by the Black Hand to purify the Sanctuary. She feels guilty and ashamed of what she has done, but is simply following orders. You see that the Black Marsh speaker then sent her to Gavach to kill Primate Jonas, the old primate of the Church of Akatosh. Surprised by this finding, the two of you head to Gavach to investigate further. It's there that you see another vision. It turns out Lyra went to Gavach and met with Primate Artorias. He convinced her to abandon the Dark Brotherhood and join him as a champion of Akatosh. Not only that, but Primate Artorias convinces her to assassinate his superior Primate Jonas so he can take control of the Church of Akatosh. Back at the sanctuary, you tell Astara what you learned. She says it's time for the Black Dragon to die, but chooses Green Venom Tongue to eliminate her. She asks that you simply watch Green Venom Tongue and make sure the job is complete, and only to intervene if the Black Dragon kills him before he can kill her. So you head to Knight's Grave, an Imperial rune that dates back to the beginning of the Order of the Hour. You trail Green Venom Tongue, but it's not long before he finds that you're following him and asks for your help solving a puzzle that opens the gates to the rune. You do just that and head off to complete the mission together. The Black Dragon knows you're there and sends projections to talk to you.
Orders. I am done being used, Venom. Just leave me alone.
I can't do that, Lyra. You brought this on yourself.
You are a determined one, I'll give you that. You must have really bought into the Brotherhood's lies.
A bit later, the player and Green Venom Tongue get separated when you reach a gate that Green Venom scales but can't open from the other side. He goes on without you while you try to find another way around. You do find a way around through a hole in the wall, but by the time you get to Green Venom Tongue, it's too late. He's dying, slain by the Black Dragon, and in his last breath, tells you to kill the Black Dragon and send her soul to Sithis. You go off to avenge your brother and finally track down the Black Dragon. She somberly declares that she was used by the Dark Brotherhood and the Order of the Hour and doesn't want to kill you, but it's too late and her life has been marked by Sithis. In one final betrayal, the Black Dragon also tells you she told Primate Artorias the location of the Brotherhood Sanctuary in the Gold Coast. And with that, her time on Nirn has come to an end. You slay her and Sithis pulls her soul into the void.
No! What's happening? This was true. Sithis! Have mercy!
Concerned about the safety of the sanctuary, you quickly head back and inform Astar what happened. You also warn her that Primate Artorias now knows the location of the sanctuary. She says the Primate must die, and the time to finish the Order of the Hour is now. The Primate of Akatosh is hiding in his cathedral, and all the Dark Brotherhood family heads off to kill him. Once in Kvatch, you and Tanik find a way into the cathedral through a mausoleum. You sneak through the catacombs with all the Brotherhood assassins and make your way into the cathedral's main room. It's there that in an epic battle, you confront and assassinate Primate Artorias.
I will not beg for mercy from the likes of you!
To the void with you, Artorias. May the Dread Father grant you the welcome you so richly deserve. Stand tall, brothers and sisters. We are the Dark Brotherhood. Now back to the sanctuary, my assassins. We have friends to remember and a victory to celebrate.
With that, the Order of the Hour is destroyed and the Dark Brotherhood once again reigns over the Gold Coast, striking from the shadows against all who oppose. Your group returns to the sanctuary to mourn the loss of your family members and celebrate your victory. It's there that your character is promoted to Silencer, a position of honor within the guild. And that wraps up the Dark Brotherhood questline in ESO. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the rest of the videos in this series so far. If you want to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button. The Thieves Guild will be up next. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.